So we have the questions based on the group by, because group by is very important. Which SQL query will return the total sales per region ordered by the highest sales? Please tell me. I like to give rest to my mind today. So you just tell me. Figure it out. Total sales per region. So it means we want the region like north, south, west, imagine. And we want to see their total sales. And also, then the highest sale should come first, which means obviously we need the sorting. So if north has done the highest sale, north is going to come first, then west, and then, like this. Yes. Select region, some sales from sales data, group by region, order by region, descending. A and B looks very similar. What is the difference? Difference is in the last, basically, where they are saying order by some sales. Very interesting. Yes. No answer? Why?
It should be A.
A. Select region. Okay, we have to select the region. Then sum of sales, because we need the sales. So definitely sum we require. Which table find? Group by comes by the region. Yes. So it's going to basically group by the regions. So far, your query will give you something like this: region and sales. And then you have the north region, south region, whatever. I mean, I'm just giving you the example. And then the sale, like, let's say this, and this, and and this, and like this. But then, because it says order by region in the descending order. Now, order by region in the descending order. You know that in SQL, order by is the step that SQL runs. This is the last step that SQL will run, right? So first, it's just going to group by. First, it's going to use the from. You know that, right? The from. Let's go by the fundamentals. This is the first thing, from. And then afterwards, obviously the group by will happen, right? Then it's going to group the things. And then finally, it's going to select what actually it wants, and then you will have the order by. So what I'm trying to say is that these first three, this query up till now, this is what you will get, where the data will not be sorted, obviously. It's just going to put that data, summarize the data for you. Then you say order by region. When you say order by region, basically you're targeting this, order by region. What this will do, give you, order by region in the descending order. It means that if this is north, this is south, this is east, this is west, right? Alphabetically, your data will be sorted because you said order by region. So it means that which particular row will come first? It's a descending order. So I think W will come first. So W will be on the top, isn't it? And then so on, right? So it's not taking care of the sales. But what is the question? Order by the highest sale first. We are not interested in sorting the regions. We are interested in sorting the sales. Right? So that was a wrong.
Then B. Yeah.
Right? Order by, either you will say now order by sum of sales. And I see here also, very interesting. Here also it says order by sales. Now, in both the things, one thing is sure, that this is also sales, this is also sales, right? So this is the thing. Now you need to decide between B and C. Now remember one thing. You said sum of sales, right? Sum of sales, which means that it's going to group it's going to summarize the data for you, right? Now, once we have grouped the data, we have basically the field which we are basically doing is the sum of the sales, right? Because this is actually the field. And on the one side, they have the sales, and on the other side, they have the simple header, which is called sales. There is a difference between this, sum of sales and order by sum of sales and order by sales. So which one is going to be the correct one? You see, the point is, we can try. Definitely, we can try. This should be the right answer, in my opinion. Because this sales basically is a original that header where you have multiple sales, 1,000 sales are there and every zone is repeating, isn't it? So you have all those. So this is where you have the sales. But eventually when you group by it, you make it sum of sales, right? And all, let's say this is north and this is somewhere north. So what happens? These both numbers goes here as a one number, right? This also goes here and this, because we are summarizing it. So the total of these two numbers would come here. So that's why I think order by sum sales is the right choice, but we can always cross check. And so to cross check the data, what we can do, first I'll just comment this. This is the question number 1. Let's see the question number 1. Question number, answer B. Answer B. Is that what we have? Yes. So, as I said, this is what you have to take care, because the summarization happens on that grouping. I mean, when you're going to do that, so you have to take the sum of sales you have to write the sum of sales in this way. Okay. So, this is nice. You any doubts, let me know. Okay. If we use group by department, order by average salary, the result will be departments grouped and sorted by average salary, department grouped but not ordered, salary sorted without grouping. These questions are very nice. Yes. So we're grouping by the departments, operations, HR, finance. So we're grouping them. Okay. And every department has salary. Like there are 50 people, some are in HR, some are in finance, they are getting their salaries. So we just want to say 2 people are from HR, 5 people are from MIS, 10 people are from operations. So we basically saying, so on an average, how much department is earning? Average, basically. Yes. So what this line will do, if we use the group by order by average, I think this is pretty easy. Because see, what this line says, department grouped but not ordered. This is not possible, because you're actually using the order by. So order has to be there. Is going to be there. Salary sorted without grouping. Salary sorted without grouping, it's not again possible, because you are using the group by. The group by will happen, right? Department grouped and sorted by average salary. This is the right one, right? So if I put select department from this table, group by department, order by average salary, and like if I just write select department and then we need to average the salary, this is what it is. Then from table, whatever it is, and then finally order by, isn't it? This is what we're going to do, right? This is what we're going to do, order by average salary. So what this query will do, this will do basically the same. Okay, so we can cross check this time, okay? Because these questions are tricky questions, so I'm going to write the answer also. Okay. Next question. Which clause can come after group by in SQL Server? Which clause can come after group by in SQL Server? Basically, it says can, which means it can or it cannot, depending upon the situation. Yes. You haven't done the offset, I know. So we can check where always comes before the group by. Do you remember the sequence? Where comes first, right? And offset, we haven't done it. Having, yes. Having an order by. It's quite clear. So the answer is having an order by. Correct? Because if you have to put the conditions, we always put the conditions in case of group by, right? Then having comes after the group by. And order by also, as you know, this is the last. I mean, in SQL, if we have to order by anything, it is the last line that we use. So answer should be C. In the query, select city, count all from customer, group by, city, order by, count descending. What does order by applies to? Again, very nice. for your help, I'll just create the proper structure of this. So it's going to be readable, you know. Now you tell me, this is a query, correct? This is your basically the query. So what this query is going to do, what does order by applies to? So order by, here, order by is count all. This is what the order by is doing here. Generally, you say order by some field name, order by department, order by zone, order by region, isn't it? But here you are saying order count all. So what this refers to? We have done this. The number of rows in each group, alphabetically order of city, the original table order means how the table is coming. It's just going to keep the same, the order of that table. What this query basically is doing, it's selecting the cities, right? So it means if you, let's say, we have a India data. Now we have so many cities, you know that, right? Now suppose there is a city called Chandigarh. So in those, in our data, Chandigarh is repeating, let's say, 50 times, correct? And maybe there any other city, okay? Maybe, let's say, Shimla, Solan. This is simply going to give you the city-wise count, correct? Count all, because you're grouping the city. So basically, if you have Shimla here, and you have, let's say, Chandigarh here, right? And any other city, let's say Gwalior, we have Mysore, you will get here the count. Because the group by what it does, it's going to go by everything based on the city. Then because you're saying count, so it's going to count, right? Now, remember one thing, though I have explained you this thing, count star. You may, sometimes what happens, like suppose if your data has 1,000 rows, you may be thinking that, okay, so this is going to give you 1,000, 1,000, 1,000 because you are saying count all, isn't it? If this question is in your doubt, if you have this type of a doubt, remember, this is group by. If I just write select count all from the customer, we'll get 1,000. But right now we are grouping. So how the group by works? Remember those packets, partitions I explained you? It's like suppose you have here data, right? You have your data. So let's say this is your city here, and then different headers, right? Different headers. We don't need any specific header because this is count all. So here in this, the city, as I said, here in this city, you have city called Chandigarh, Shimla, Chandigarh, Shimla, Gwalior, Shimla, like this, right? What the group by will do? Group by will create a package, whatever you want to call it, small, right? Like this, right? So all C will go here. This is the group by job. So there will be a 1C. And all these S will go here. There will be a 1S for all these. They will represent all these cities, right? This is the group by job, right? Because remember, it is not mandatory for us to always use the aggregation in the group. I told you, even if you just say select city from customer group by city, what will happen? You will get all those cities. But mostly group by happens with the aggregations because we need to see something in front of those aggregations, right? So when this select city, when SQL, checks this line, it's going to give you these cities in this way. And then it checks the another field. What is here? Are we trying to add something? Are we trying to do the average or what? Now, this is count all. So what will happen? It's simply going to create here another field. You know that, right? But in that field now, count all will happen. Now, because this is a group by, so count all will happen on these individual levels, right? So it's simply going to see where is C. How many C's we have? 1, 2. So it's going to say, okay, so you have 2 there. And then how many S we have? Let's say 4. You know, this is how the group by happens. But more than group by, I'm emphasizing on this star, count star. You should not say that, okay, so how many rows we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you will get here 7, you will get here 7. No, 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 no. It's a group by. Anything, the aggregation that happens in the group by, that will always happen on those separate, or on those fields which you basically are saying that I want to group. And again, revising you cannot add here any other thing because you're grouping it by city. So you have to select the city. Because if you say city and state, for example, this query will not work because this will say that you're selecting city, but you're trying to group city and state. So you should write here state also. Those are the different concepts. But so this is how the count all will happen. It means that alphabetically order of city. Now see, the point is we are also ordering by, right? Up till this you have got, so this is not going to work. So up till now we have this data. So let's say this is just 1 as per the data. This, the city, the G. Correct or not? Right? So these all will go there. So finally you're saying that order by count star. Obviously here you have the count, isn't it? Now when you're writing count star, it's giving the count, but you have not written here as total count or something. So here the field will be nameless, right? That we can do, but that is not important. This question. When I'm writing a count, you should not read this as, okay, so field count will be created. But there will be no field because you're not mentioning here as, or either you write count star as, for example, you write city count, CC. Then yes, you'll get here the CC. Otherwise not. But we don't want that, right? We're simply saying that this, here we have the city because you're selecting the city. So this header will definitely count here. And this header will have no name, isn't it? Column will have no name, which is okay. But finally, you're saying that I want to order it. Order by what? Order by count star. Order by this number. Order by this number, right? So you know that in order by, we can use the aggregation functions also, or we can just say order by city, order by state, order by department, order by salaries. We can sort the data on the headers also. But what if we want to sort the data based on a calculation? Because 2 and 4 and 1, these are the aggregation. These are the new numbers. They don't exist in your row. Because in your row, here you have different rows. So here your city have something, here the city is something, we are grouping it. So we are creating a new field here. That's why because the field that is not there in the table, so if we have to go and sort the data based on that, we have to use this function, exactly the same that we have written in the above query also we have seen. So this should basically what it should do, it should put the this city Shimla on the top, and then after that it should put the this what do you call Chandigarh here, and then Gwalior here. This is how the data will look like. So it means that alphabetically order of city, no. The original table order, no. Group by will change everything. The number of rows in each group, yes. So in this particular, if you see here, they're not discussing anything by order by. They're not even talking about. They have to put here the order of city. That is just to confuse, because we are not at all sorting the data based on the city. If I have to sort this based on the city, what will I write? Order by city. Then this option is the right. So we are just getting the number of rows in each group. In each of these groups, whatever the number of rows we have. Remember this each word. In each group. It's not saying in the overall. I hope this is clear. Okay, this is clear. You should be able to read the queries I don't want you to just copy and paste the chat GPT codes because that will not help you. For the timing, you may be able to create the queries. But what if you have to explain this something, someone, you're giving a presentation and, you're the boss, they're checking the data. And then let's say, for example, they are not getting the output. They question you that how come this number has come, what it is doing. What will you do then? How will you explain that? You can't explain, right? So we have to come out of that thing that ChatGPT is there. So now anyone can do anything. So they're going to take our jobs and all that stuff. No, basically, people will still be required in this industry. But then, yes, only those who actually understand the fundamentals and who can very effectively use the ChatGPTs. It's not like you just don't know anything or maybe just ABC thing and, you're going to shine in your job. No, it's not like that because you have a ChatGPT. No. So I hope this is clear. Now, now I want you to answer. Okay. You all are very quiet. I don't know. You're not practicing, it seems. What is the correct sequence of clauses in a SQL query with group by and order by? Yes. So which one is the correct sequence? We have discussed this many times.
D.
B. Okay. Select, group by, having, order by. Very nice. Because see, one thing is clear. Even if you are confused about this, just have a look here. In any of the answers, we don't have the order by in the last. And you know that order by comes in the last. This is what we have done so far. So this has to be the one. And having perfectly, because if I have to use the filter in the group by, then I will use the having. Then you can't use the where. Because see, group by produces the results, and on those results, I want to filter the data. Where does? Where says that I already have the data and I want to use the current fields. Right? Because when you use the group by, you create a new calculation there, average, sum, whatever. So then you have to do, if you have to do the filtering, then you will use the having. Because you don't have that field. Where comes before the group by. But the where will do if you don't have those calculations yet. Because I'm summing the entire north region, south region. I have their row by row numbers, but I don't have the overall numbers. So till the time I don't have the overall numbers, how can where, fit into there? So that's the point. Okay. So anyways, so you said B. And what about this? So we said A. Yeah. We'll cross check also. I can be wrong. Which query gives the average salary per department in ascending order of the department name? Yes. I think this is very easy. Why we are taking so much time? The last line, order of department name has the answer. Select the department average from employee, group by, department, order by. First of all, this is the right sequence. Select aggregation from order by. Order by? How come order by before group by? You don't even have to look at it. Reject it. Order by cannot come before group by. Why we are taking so much time? Select department, average salary from employee, order by average salary. So, which query gives the average salary per department? Per department average salary. It means, how are you going to get the per department salary if you have operations HR repeatedly coming, isn't it? You have to group then. Otherwise, if you just write this query, select department, this will simply select the department. In fact, this will not work. Why? Tell me why this query will not work. I want an answer now. Come on. This query is wrong. If I run this query, you get the error. Tell me.
Aggregation will not work without group by.
Yes. That's very simple. You're writing the aggregation function here. When you write the aggregation function, it means that you're actually going to use the group by. So you have to write it. Now this is different from this. Don't get confused. But so we have seen somewhere, you were actually, again I'm repeating, you have done the without the group by the aggregation, something like this. This is different, guys. This is different. See, this will give you the average salary of all those 10,000 rows. you will just get one number. We don't know then which department, right? So we want the average salary per department. So I have to calculate the average. So it means that this query is incorrect. So our answer is A. Okay, this is how it is. What happens if we use order by column not included in the select with group by? It will throw an error. It will ignore order by. It will still work without error. What happens if we use order by column not included in select with group by? Interesting. You know what it says? It's saying that suppose you have employee ID. Let's use this data. Yeah, I really want to find out this. So this is what we have. Your question we will answer that you asked a question. I know that we will do that later. Let the right time come. Select manager. So this is the question basically. Uh, select on from. Sometimes as a trainer you also learn because from these objective questions or sort of these questions, there's no end to the learning. You always learn. See, this is our data. Now what it says, understand the question. It says that suppose you're grouping by, right? So let's say I'm grouping by. This is something I'm grouping. Select manager, right? Now this will group. Obviously this will group. Right? Incorrect syntax from this keyword. Debut employee incentive, select manager, incentive. What is the mistake we are doing? Incentive. Okay, sorry. There's no comma. Whenever this says that there's a problem near the from, I always go and check, what I have written after it and before it. Because it doesn't explicitly says that, you're missing the commas. Okay, anyways. Okay, now see, you know that if I right now say order by manager, what will happen? We will have the sorting based on the managers, right? So A, B, C, D, E. Let me just use descending, for example. I think they are already sorted in the ascending. So we'll try to run it like this, right? Now, if I say that, no, I don't want this sorting. I want the sorting based on the incentive, right? So that also you can do it, isn't it? So you can do that. Now the sorting will be different. Correct or not? See, this person comes on the top, right? I also want to tell you one thing. When you're running this, you see that here we have given the name manager incentive, right? So what will happen if instead of using the formula directly, because this is also field. So what will happen if I say that instead of this, can I not use my new field which I've created, incentive, case, SQL is case incentive. So, you can write in capital also. Let me just write it in small letters. Now, if you go and try to, execute this, you see that you will get the same answer. In all the objective questions, when we were sorting the data, because I was not using it, they have given the question. So they were using the sum of incentive. But the point I'm trying to make is that if you're going to give this a name, because there they were not giving the name, they were just going like this. If you don't have a name, you can't use the name, right? But if you're using the name, then you can use that as well instead of the calculation. Good thing, logic clear, right? So it's up to you, right? Because the order by is the last statement. You know that first of all, from will be SQL will pick the from and then group by everything, and then it's going to do all the calculations. So your data will have that field, which basically on which you have to sort the data. But here the question is very different. The question is that what happens if we put the order by here with some other field? Will this work? Like for example, I'm going to say employee. Please tell me now. This is what it says, that if we use order by column not included in the select statement, will this work? I'm sorting the data based on the manager, right? But at the same time, I mean, once I have the data with me, I'm going to sort that based on the employee, which actually is not a part of this query. Because in this query, there will be only two fields, manager and M incentive. So is writing like this, will the SQL will pick then still in the background? Because see, the point is, if you're sorting the data like this, the thing is, all these managers like this, right? Which employee ID we are going to get? Which employee ID it should come in front of this manager, because the manager is repeating here and all the employee IDs are different. So how the order by employee descending will work? That's the point. Seems like big mess here. It's not basically complying to the rules, isn't it? Or is it going to first sort the data based on the employees and then it's going to pick? No, because group by is very different. And order by also always executes in the first place. So let's just go and run this. And this is what it is. Employee incenting employee is invalid. Because when you're grouping the data, you're changing the structure of the data. You don't have those 10,000 rows now. All those 10,000 rows, they have the managers and they have the different employee IDs. So how it is going to sort the data on the employee? Because this gives you a new data and that data will not have those employee IDs. So it will throw an error. Yes, very good. Okay, Control K, Control C to comment. So this is our answer. So we have checked this. We have created the query and okay. Which query lists the product categories by total sales and then highest first? Yes, tell me. So we have the products, the categories, and their total sales should come in front of those categories. Product, let's say A, product B, product C. And of course, the sale that we have generated from that product, the highest should come on the top. So obviously it is asking you for a group and also for order by, right? So which one is the correct? Select category, sum sales from product, group by, order by, sum of sales. Yes, this is perfect. What about this? Select category, sum of sales from product. There's no group by here. So this is wrong. What about this? Select categories, sales. What is wrong in this query? Come on, tell me quickly. Group by is also there. Order by is also there. What is missing in this query? Huh. What is wrong about this query? This query will not work. Tell me why. Answer is A. But tell me why. Why this query will not work? What is wrong in this? The fundamentals. In the group by, you cannot use the field, which is not is in the group by. Now you may be thinking, okay, so I thought this is aggregation. No, this is not aggregation. There's no formula here. It's a simple field. Ideally, it should be like this if I have to do it, isn't it? But since I'm not doing it, so group by will say, look, you have to group by here, sales also then. And I'll say, no, but I don't need the grouping based on the two sales. I want the grouping on only of the category. So group by will say, then you have to go and use this, isn't it? So this is wrong about this. Aggregation is missing. Got to pick up these things, guys. Control K, Control C. Okay. Yes. Which function is invalid with group by? It's resolved. Because, sum is there, average is there. So we'll write C here. Very simple. Group by is mainly used with aggregate functions, string concatenations, data type conversion. Obviously, aggregation, right? If I have to concatenate something, I have to means join something, I use what? Plus sign. Remember when we were discussing the role of as keyword to create the new columns, right? And of course, data type conversion is something different to change the data types that we will see. So these are very simple functions. If no group by is specified but aggregate function is used, what happens? Yes, tell me please now. Select count all from the employees. It applies to the entire table. It throws an error. It applies to the first row only. What will happen if I create this query? Because you see, there's no group by here. Will this work? Hello. Select count all from employees. Will this work? It applies to the entire table. Okay. We don't need the group by here. Group by we need it if I want to group something. And for that, I will write here some field like this. Against something I want the count. This is simply the overall aggregation. So it will apply to the entire table. Right. In the select department, count all from employee group by department. What does count star represent? Returns the number of rows in each department group. Yes. Returns the number of rows in each department. Number of departments. Well, if you write count star, basically what it does, it returns the number of rows in each department group, right? In each department group. So you will have the departments and you will have their count. We have seen this before. Which of the following columns must appear in group by? Must appear. Columns not inside the aggregate functions. So it says that the column that you're writing inside the aggregate function. So something like this. So let's take this example to understand this question. Suppose this is our group by. Simple example, let's say average, right? And I don't want this order by, let's say. Simple. This will give me the group by based on the category, and we will get the category average. Which of the following columns must appear in group by? So it's saying that must appear in group by. So in group by, which column should appear? Must appear. Columns not inside the aggregate functions. Is this referring to the sets like inside the aggregate function? Well, definitely this when we are going to grow, aggregation has nothing to do with the group by because this is the calculation part. What we want. The most important part is that which must come is the what you write in the select and what you write in the group by. That should be same. Columns inside the aggregate function, all columns of the table. So basically, I think the right answer is all columns of the table. Because all columns of the table means now what it says, which of the following columns must appear in group by? All columns of the table, or does it mean that it's saying all columns that you're mentioning in the select? So that should come there. So ideally that should be the answer. But it says all columns of the table, right? All columns of the table. What if I want to group by only based on one field, right? So if it is referring to in that way, then that it should contains all the columns. Then obviously this does not make any sense. Columns inside the aggregate functions, columns not inside the aggregate functions. I think this is the right answer because whatever you write not inside this, which means category as we are writing here, this is where the group by should come, must come, right? Because this can be any field and group by has nothing to do with this because what you write here, that's basic. I told you that should be written here. The other calculation that you're doing here, group by has nothing to do. I mean, group by will use that field for the calculations, but group by will not say that why you're not writing here. I mean, for me, writing here average sales does not make sense, right? So the right answer has to be A. And we, let me see that. Yeah. Question number 13, answer A. So we are right. Second last question. Group by can be combined with which clause to filter the group results? Well, obviously, this is very simple. A, having. And the last question that we'll meet tomorrow. In group by, can we use column alias define and select? Wow. Tell me now. No. Must use actual column name? Yes, always, only in order by. Now, this is super. Let me see who can answer this. So, what it says, alias name. You know the alias name, right? The name that we give using the as keyword. So,
And
yeah. So, read the question. I want this, everyone. See, suppose if I say here, average sales as, um, let's say category, average sales. Okay. Suppose this is the query. What it says in group by, can we use the column alias defined in the select? So I have defined the alias name here. You know, if I run this query, what will happen? Category and then category average sale. We will get that. You know that, right? I have just discussed that, and the question also came. But then it says that, so if you're using the order by, the question is, can we use that alias name in that select? So can I do this? Tell me, guys.
yes.
Yes, you can. So you can use aggregation also, or you can use this also. In the order by, you can do that. In the order by, you can. Order by allows. Okay. So it says yes always, and 15th is, oh, column alias can't be used in group by, but can be used in order by. So that's the point. So we are saying in the order by only. What do you mean by that? Uh, only
Question is asking in group by can we use alias name?
can we use column alias defined in select. Oh, okay. Yes. So, anyways, so this is okay. I have answered this. Basically, you are right. It actually says group by category as, so let's say some name. So this is what basically it says. Can we use it? Now, sometimes it's difficult to understand the question also. I mean, it's just a very small, they should have explained this properly. But anyways, can we use the column alias name defined in group by? Can we use uh, column alias name defining? No, I'm still in group by. Can we use column alias name? Actually, you know what it is saying? I think in select it is saying, yeah. So actually, this is what it says, that suppose if I write here uh, testing, for example, category. Yes, this is what it says. So can I now group by this instead of writing the category? Can I write like this? You know, I have never come across this type of a question. So uh, I don't know. We have to run this. Let me uncomment this. Right now, this the table. I guess we have this table, right? Select or from product. Because in generally group by, when we group by the field, we always use the field name only. Okay, so we don't products. First, I want to make sure that we have those headers or not. Okay, so you know it's not. It's just, let's see something else then. We have created the query. Uh, where is that? Let me use this one. The last one was special. So it actually says this. Sure. I'm going to remove all these over clauses from here. Yeah. So it says that now if you're going to group it, forget about this. What I will do, the manager, I'm going to say group by n. And this is, I think that this is what the question says, that is it possible now that we can do it? So let's run this. Incorrect syntax from the, okay, so I'll remove this. invalid column. So no, must use actual column name. So 15th answer is C. Column A. Column aliases can't be used in group by, but can be used in order by. Yes, that's correct. In order by we can. Alias name we have seen. In order by we can use, but then no. So in group by, can we use the column alias name? Now you see, I think here we can write this also, because we can say no, it must use the actual column name. We have seen that. The moment I remove this query should work, isn't it? So this is also the right answer. Uh, Sorry, manager. You see, this is also the right answer. But yes, in a way, this is also the right answer, that in order by we can do that. Like suppose the alias, this is the alias name, right? Or maybe if I write here, let's say M. See this, very interesting. I told you that in order by we can always use either, you can use the field name, you can use the aggregation also, you can use that aggregation, the new name that you have given, which is the alias name. But we have never discussed that. So in case if I have given the alias name to a normal field, not to the aggregation, will this work? Yes, it is going to work, definitely. So now this will sort the data based on managers. Okay, see that A comes first, D comes first, P and S and testing, right? So this is also right. This is also right. Okay, so they basically B and C should be the right answer. Point is that you should understand, your concept should be clear. Okay, and yes, the query that we have created, I will write that as well, because that's the very important thing. So like this. Okay, so below is not going to work. Okay, remember, whenever you want to use the, you know, alias names are allowed in the order by. Alias names are allowed or in the order by all. You can't use it in any other thing, like in the group by. You can't say select manager as M and then this has to be my M. This. You can't do that. So this was the question. Fine then.